I eat an apple for breakfast just about every day, as much as possible locally grown apples. This fall, it seems like the apples are a little sweeter than usual. And as it turns out, that probably has something to do with a rather unusual fruit growing season this year in Pennsylvania. Now, the strangeness started the first week of April with record heat for so early in the year. Here's a sampling of some record daily highs set that week. Notice many days in the 80s, and not just in the South. It typically takes 2 or 3 weeks for spring warming to get from the Maryland to the New York border, but this year it arrived everywhere at about the same time. There were even 80s in typically cold spots such as Warren and Wellsboro in early April. And as a result, all the fruits grown in Pennsylvania, even strawberries and blueberries, went into bloom at least 2 weeks early. According to Penn State tree fruit specialist Rob Crasweller, cherry, peach, and apple trees were all in bloom at the same time, something he'd not seen before. When the summer turned out warmer than average, the apples were ready for harvest a few weeks early. Folks at Penn State's Rock Springs Agricultural Research Center near State College were done picking Fuji apples on October 6th, 2.5 weeks before typical harvest time. This past summer was also relatively dry in Pennsylvania. Here's a look at how precipitation from June to August compared to average. And though a few scattered areas were slightly above, most of the state was below, including some key apple-growing counties, such as Adams and Franklin along the Maryland border, as well as Berks, Lehigh, Snyder, and Juniata counties. This dryness contributed to the sweeter taste I've noticed in my apples. Hot, dry weather tends to produce more natural sugars in the fruit and lowers the overall water content, yielding apples with more concentrated sugar and a more intense, sweeter taste. The relatively warm, dry summer may have also affected the pumpkin crop in Pennsylvania. According to the USDA, in 2009, only Illinois, Ohio, and Michigan ranked above Pennsylvania in acres of pumpkins harvested, 6,300 acres last year in the Commonwealth. According to Penn State's College of Agricultural Sciences, this season's pumpkin crop is about average, with pumpkins likely a little smaller than in previous years, especially the medium to large ones grown in areas that had a precipitation deficit over the summer. Still, there were some pretty big pumpkins grown in the state this year. In fact, at the Great Pumpkin Weigh-Off of the Pennsylvania Giant Pumpkin Growers Association, held in early October in Altoona, top honors went to this 1,381-pound monster pumpkin grown in northern Cambria. A total of 14 pumpkins at the competition exceeded 1,000 pounds, grown in counties as far-flung as Allegheny, Lycoming, and Jefferson. According to the winners, growing a giant pumpkin depends on good seeds, good soil, lots of hard work, and of course, good weather. We'll see if Paul Knight has any of that in the extended forecast next.